Nothing says good morning like a suspension bridge. Woo. Hi hikers, checking in. I couldn't do a early morning check-in. It was pouring rain. Thankfully it has slowed to an on and off, just very light drizzle. It's actually refreshing. It's pretty humid out. Overcast, thankfully. I am about a half mile into a 4-mile climb up the Priest, which is, I believe, a 4,000 plus footer. My total climb is going to be about 3,000 feet over 4 miles, which is pretty steep. However, if you can see this trail, at least right now, it's not a technical trail. It's just steep, which is rough. I have an extra probably 26 pounds on my back, 25, something like that. Well, I'm just taking my time. The rain is supposed to be on and off through like past midnight tonight. Possible thunderstorms in the afternoon, which is a little daunting. However, trying to get to another shelter for tonight. I was so happy to be in a shelter last night. I woke up at like 3 a.m. to go to the bathroom and it was still not raining. Beautiful night. I'm like, oh, figures. I slept in a shelter and it's not even going to rain. Oh my gosh, at 4 o'clock, the skies opened up. It unleashed for a solid 2.5 hours. And then when I woke up and had to go to the bathroom again, it stopped. I feel like I'm pretty lucky. I was at Harpers Creek Shelter, beautiful shelter. The creek was completely dried up. I should have taken a photo of the pool that we all had to stand around and use scoops to get water out to filter. I felt like a wildebeest on one of those safari shows in Africa where they all gather around the only water for miles. It's really dry. There was a ton of tent spots and there were people hammocking and tenting. And there was just myself and Hambone were in the shelter. And thankfully no one else came because it was one of those, this is all sleep 6. Holy crap. It was like, it was really comfortable for 2, obviously. Maybe a third person. 4 would have been super tight and uncomfortable. I don't know why they think they're getting 6 people in there. There was a privy. It was a nice privy. However, I went in there last night to check it out and there appeared to be a mouse nest on the ledge above the privy, which means risk of mouse falling out. There was also a gigantic spider. I don't know exactly what a brown recluse looks like, but it was a scary looking big spider living on the inside of the privy door, which was really close to where you would be sitting. And I'm like, I don't know if these things can jump or what, but it was really scary. I checked this morning. That thing was still on the door and he was moving fast. And I'm like, ooh, not using the privy. As a result, the cat hole count, ding, it is up 1 because I refuse to use that privy with the risk of mice and a poisonous spider. Anyway, I am dying, huffing and puffing. Today's goal is the Seeley-Woodworth, I think, Seeley something shelter, because the rain is supposed to continue through midnight. Tomorrow's going to be nice again, and I'm going to try to make it into another 14 miles. It'll be 14 miles today, and tomorrow I'm going to get up early and hike another 14 miles to a road pickup. Hopefully, if I can get a reservation at the White Tree Inn in Buena Vista. They have like a hostel-ish type of situation in their B&B to get probably dried out because I'm probably going to get wet today. And honestly, some town food, and it's, you know, the mileage lines up. So I'm going to go for it. Okay, I got to stop. I can't breathe. Have a good day. I don't know if there's views at the top of this thing, but I'll check in later up the trail. Hey, little dude. Turtle, I see your face. Hi, buddy. My first painted box turtle of my hike. Look at that dude. And it's raining. It's his kind of weather. And he's a good hiking buddy for me. My same pace. Hi, buddy. You can tell I'm used to hiking in the New England states. I came upon this pile of rocks and assumed I had to go straight. I'm like, oh boy, here we go. But no, look. I only have to cross a few. This is a dried up creek, like most of them, although there are pools of water. Look at that straight, not straight, but lovely terrain of that trail over there. God bless you, Virginia. Whew, it's good to be back. I just saw a bear. It was fine. It was scared of me, which is good. But this situation scared the shit out of both of us. Sorry for the swear words. Because, as you can see, I'm on it's like a big incline up and then a big incline down on my other side. The trail is pretty narrow because it's a lot of switchbacks up this steep hill mountain, the Priest. And this is why I don't wear headphones when I hike. I was walking and I heard rustling in the leaves, and there's so many switchbacks. At first I thought it was another hiker because there's been some runners out here. God bless you for running this thing. I can barely walk it. And running down, you know, and there's leaves on the ground. Then I'm like, holy crap, that sounds like more than a person. And it's more than a deer. Like, deer wouldn't make that much noise. Sure enough, I look up the hill and there's this black bear. Had to be a juvenile. It wasn't huge. It wasn't a baby. Running along on all fours. And he was coming down the hill. You know, not after me, because the minute he saw me, she put the brakes on, scared the crap, turned around and ran back up the hill. So I think he's trying to run down to get on the trail, of course. It's easier traveling. Oh my God. And I had my phone out because I was looking at my GPS. But it didn't even dawn on me. I don't care about getting pictures or video. I had to get away because I looked up and he was staring down at me, and I wondered how long, like, before they said, oh, she's not a threat. I'm going to run down the hill, you know. She has a big bag of food on her back. You know, I don't mess around like that. So I quickly put my poles over my head to make myself look bigger, and I just walked, and they didn't move. And then immediately, like, I looked back and they were no longer visible. Of course, probably still looking at me. Hey, bear. I've been yelling, hey bear, for the last half mile. And in all the excitement, I slipped on the trail. It's a lot of scree, like small rocks. And my one leg went kind of downhill, and I kind of fell onto my forearms. And that made me panic, because I'm like, oh shit, if I don't look tall, they're going to come after me. They're not out to get humans. They're afraid of humans. You know, a non-habituated bear is afraid of humans. I know this in my head. But, you know, when you're in the moment, I'm like, oh my God. So I had to immediately pop up. I walked with my poles over my head, yelling, hey bear. It's been about half mile. I'm sure it's fine. What it all boils down to is it was really awesome. What a beautiful animal. It may have been running because of all these switchbacks, and there's other hikers out here. I'm like, I bet it saw another person. Poor thing got scared, is trying to run, sees another person. It'd be like me seeing, you know, a bunch of bears in a row. As long as we can coexist out here. And do not feed bears. Take care of your food. Don't let them get habituated to humans. It's pretty awesome to see one. I'm so happy I did. The only other thing I've seen on my hike was a bear butt from a huge distance. This was, I mean, I don't know how close, but I saw his face. And thank God he stopped running. He was coming down that hill, and for a split second, I'm like, oh my God, is this bear charging me? That'll wake you up. I am about a mile from the summit of the Priest. I gotta tell you, this is not difficult terrain at all. There are switchbacks, you know, but it's climbing, just not technical. I don't know where my climbing legs went. Maybe I left them on Katahdin. I am struggling today. Hoping that it's just, I mean, not physically, I don't feel ill or anything, like, before. I just think it's, you know, I'm still recovering from New Hampshire and Maine. Probably will be for the rest of my life. I don't know. I had 10 days off trail, and the last 100 miles before Katahdin weren't exactly, you know, super challenging physically. So, you know, my body's just getting back into it. I'm sure that's all it is. I'm looking forward to getting to the priest shelter and getting some water. I am grateful for this day. It's overcast and cool with a nice breeze. Jedi had this, I think, in some 90-degree crazy heat wave. I can't imagine. It's much less humid than it was earlier because I'm, you know, up higher. And the breeze is beautiful and the rain is held off. I really can't ask for more. What I could ask for is an ice cold Dr. Pepper or Coke. But I'm not getting that. I'll just think about it. Jedi said, by the time you get to the top of the priest, you'll be ready to confess to anything. I tend to believe that's true. We'll see how I feel in another mile, maybe a little less. I'll see you up there. Bye. There's a view from one of the outcroppings near the summit. As you can see, it's jack squat. But yet, we'll continue climbing. Oh my goodness. Ooh. It's very misty out, very otherworldly. Oh. Alright, I'm definitely under a mile to the summit. This has been a long morning, but I'm looking forward to getting to the other side. Well, the app is telling me I am on the priest summit right now, which I was suspicious because the trail got kind of flat. As you can see, there's no views. It's a jungle up here. There's a side trail up here from near the summit that apparently has some views off some ledges. Won't be able to see a thing, so I'm not going to take it. I am 0.6 from the shelter, where I am going to take a sit-down break and filter some water. It's approaching, and it's about 12:15, and some thunderstorms are potential this afternoon. I'm glad I made it up here before they started. The wind is kind of picking up and it's starting to sprinkle a little. I should have about 7 miles to the shelter, and most of that is downhill, which isn't a given that it'll be quick because it depends how rocky and or treacherous the trail is. But either way, it'll be downhill. So my lungs will be glad about that. My ankles, perhaps not so much. We shall see. All right, I am down from the priest mountain. I'm not sure if I'm exiting the national forest or just the priest wilderness. I was in the Three Ridges wilderness yesterday. I went to the priest shelter. Couldn't find the water source, but that's okay. I got like 5 point something to camp, and I have a liter plus of water, or a half liter plus of water. I'm probably fine. It's not even hot. There's water at the shelter. I spent a good amount of time at the priest shelter. It was a short distance off trail because it's funny. The people write in their confessions at the top of the priest. It's pretty funny. I wrote in mine, which I assume my editor may or may not include in the photo montage at the end here. It's nothing, you know, drastic. It's trail related for sure. Anyone that grew up Catholic like myself, I did have to add in, "Forgive me, Father, for I have sinned. It's been X number of years since my confession." And then I proceeded with the trail detail. There were some commandments, hiker commandments. Thou shalt not covet thy neighbor's snacks. Thou shalt not crop dust thy tramily. Thou shalt bury thy poop. And I can't remember the other one. There weren't 10 in the book, but I got a good chuckle and probably spent too much time reading the confessions and laughing when there could be thunderstorms hitting. But I'm on a downhill, and honestly, I'm just taking my sweet old time. I'm in no rush. Shelter's 5+ miles away, and I'm having a good old time out here. Wow, there's a really cool tent site, or maybe this trail parking area? I don't know. Anyway, it's a Sunday, so I keep thinking, ooh, if I pass a parking area, will there be trail magic? No such luck. We just saw a giant Boy Scout truck, and they were feeding Boy Scouts pancakes and coffee, but apparently they didn't feel like sharing. It's all right. I'm not owed anything, but I mean, a girl can hope. This section is not as much downhill as I had thought it would be, given the 4-mile straight uphill I had. Well, not straight, there were switchbacks, but 4-mile uphill to the top of the Priest. I think Sobo got gypped. I think Priest must be easier going northbound, because the minute I got down, I'm like, woohoo, smooth sailing from here on in. And I still have climbs. They're not big, they're puds, pointless ups and downs. I mean, I know it's the trail, it is what it is, but it's my 3rd day in. I think I shared before, I'm struggling with my legs a little bit, climbing even seemingly straightforward trail. Mentally, I'm like, whew. And I don't know, I have a little bit of like post-Katahdin depression, I think, given how just epic that experience was. And I can't wrap my head around hiking 870 more miles. I'm going to do it and I'm going to enjoy it. It's been beautiful out here. I'm not saying that. It's just that the not so rosy part of me is like, oh my God, I'm tired. Anyway, there's an easy remedy. I'm going to be going into town tomorrow night after a full day's hike. And then a couple more days into another town. And I'm trying to balance, trying to do a little more overnights in towns. I don't know about fewer zeros, but very judiciously picked zeros. Maybe some more Neros, meaning I still get a few miles in, stop early and go into a town, because I know I have to give my body a rest. I really don't want to be out here till Christmas, but I have to balance that with hiking safely and healthily and not get injured. Rule number 1, as we've said over and over. All right, I got a couple miles to go. I'm excited that I'm going to be sleeping in a shelter. It's been misting all day. I'm wet. I can't wait to change my clothes, get some water, and make a nice hot dinner. See you up there. Holy giant mushroom cap. I don't know what kind of mushroom that is, but if it wasn't poisonous, I would love to slice that baby up and put her in some butter. That is huge. I think that's the biggest one I've seen. Crazy, it's like stuck to that log. I made it to the Seeley-Woodworth shelter. I hear the water supply is really good. I'm really thirsty. I'm going to drink some and cook with some and rest my weary bones. Night night, everybody. I'll see you tomorrow.